19th century it girl, Alice in Wonderland. Welcome to Nameless' first literary issue, where we will dive into the literary masterpiece that is Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Full disclaimer, the illustrations that were used for the video were taken from Disney's movie because it is simply visually stunning, and after having read the classic at least 5 times I can say the 1951 picture is scarily accurate to the words written by Carroll. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more literary adventures like this, in case I decide to stop being lazy and actually get writing. Now, without further ado, let's begin our exploration of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. The book is easy to read, it's entertaining, it's easily digested, and you can not dedicate a lot of time to it and still be able to follow along. At the time this video is being recorded, the book, released in 1865, has more than 150 years, and not a soul in the Western world can escape knowledge about it. Everyone knows at least about a girl falling down a rabbit hole, or a power-crazed queen shouting "off with his head," or a Cheshire cat smile, or a rabbit being always late, or the Mad Hatter, or seemingly innocent treats that make you change size. The various references in film, TV, and music will not let this classic tale die down. But it's easy to get lost in the coquette stylings of the narrative and disregard the tenacity of its 7-year-old protagonist, Alice. An overly tenacious, dangerously curious, not afraid to speak her mind, always talking to herself and then questioning it, young lady. Or who else would talk with a cat and a smoking caterpillar and never question it? We all know how her story begins, of her falling down the rabbit hole into a nonsensical, dreamy, whimsical reality, but have you ever thought about Alice as more than just a curious protagonist? Have you ever considered her as an example of modern feminism and an it girl of her time? Every quote that I am going to be using comes from the Apple Books version, keep that in mind. So in the very first page of the she says, "And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversations?" Alice, throughout her journey in Wonderland, displays characteristics that align with the values of modern feminism. She is independent, curious, and unafraid to speak her mind. Let's take a closer look at some of the ways Alice embodies these qualities. Her independence, for instance, speaks for itself. Her ability to navigate the waters, whether actual waters or metaphorically speaking, were marvelous. Nowadays everyone is self-aware, and somehow self-deprecating the same way Alice is, always relying on her wit to get her out and get her through hard times. For example, how when she can't get through a door and needs to get a key but can't figure out a way to get it, she says the following when she starts crying, "Come, there's no use in crying like that," said Alice to herself, rather sharply. "I advise you to leave off this minute." She generally gave herself very good advice, though she very seldom followed it. Throughout her journey, Alice is constantly questioning and challenging the absurdities of Wonderland. She refuses to simply accept things as they are and instead seeks to understand and make sense of her surroundings. And finally, Alice's fearlessness in speaking her mind. She is not afraid to voice her opinions and stand up for what she believes in, even when faced with intimidating characters such as the Queen of Hearts or the Mad Hatter. In the 19th century, when the story was written, women were expected to be proper and obedient. But Alice defies these expectations and becomes a symbol of rebellion and independence. She is a character that young girls could look up to and aspire to be like. So, next time you read or watch Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, remember that Alice is not just a curious little girl, but an example of modern feminism and an it girl of her time. She teaches us to be independent, curious, and fearless in speaking our minds. And that, my friends, is why Alice is a true heroine and an inspiration to us all. Although as I carried on writing this I might have noticed flaws in my logic, some being that the book is more comical than inspiring, and that this generation's obsession with turning everything into a feminist storyline is borderline crazy, the arguments still stand, for its time, and for a children's book. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland represents Alice as an it girl, fashionably iconic. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know in the comments below, do you see Alice as a symbol of modern feminism? See you in the next video, maybe. Also check out the blog.